BodyBags, where horror lies.
Hey guys, Rob from Georgia here with you, and I'm your Wednesday night reviewer, and it is week 294. That puts us the week right before theme week, my theme week, and it is pick a film from 1970. Of course, that is also my birthday week, and also today marks my 25th video since being with BodyBags. So it's a pretty big deal here as we hit the end stretch of April. And of course, as a family, all of our birthdays are pretty much between March 7th and April 25th. And except for this guy's, he's the only one whose birthday is out close near Thanksgiving. But we are dealing with, and I thought for my 25th video, and since no one else has done it, I thought what we would do is just spend a few minutes talking about perhaps my most favorite, most cherished film of all time, Steven Spielberg's 1975, Jaws. Perhaps, no, I think it's pretty much sure. It is the first real, true summer blockbuster. And of course, that has its good things and its bad things, of course. But let's start off with just a really quick synopsis, and I'm going to let James here, who wanted to do this with me, share with us a quick little synopsis from one of his books. Go ahead, James. Tell us what this movie's all about.
It's summertime. The crowds have flocked to Amity Island for another season. In the town's nude police chief, Martin Brody, is getting acquainted with the mayor, the tourists, and the locals. When the body of a young shark attack victim washes ashore, Brody quietly calls in biologist Matt Hooper. When the shark strikes again in front of a beach full of terrified people, the town hires a grizzled local shark hunter named Quinn. Soon the three men embark on a gut-wrenching journey into the Atlantic to silence the menace. Not all of them return.
That might be one of the better synopsises I have ever heard for this film. And what is there not to, we all know the story, we know its director, his celebrated career, we know the cast, we probably know this movie inside and out. Of course, we are talking the three principal actors here, Robert Shaw and of course Roy Scheider and Richard Dreyfuss, of course, drive the film. And of course, Murray Hamilton as the mayor. And perhaps maybe if the shark isn't the antagonist, the mayor is a type of antagonist as well. And so it is quite the film. And I did want to spend just a few minutes talking about it because I don't know if there's any other film really that my entire family, we really gravitate and probably watch more of throughout each and every given year. Than Jaws or the other films in the franchise. It's second part, third part, and fourth part. And of course, this is my 30th anniversary edition of the film. Of course, DVD. I've not picked up any of these on Blu-ray yet, but this is a nice edition. 2 disc, tons of extras. Of course, a nice book, and maybe right at the height of DVDs coming out and just them going really out of their way to do a really great job on putting these things out. So Jaws, let's see here. Quick little story. Well, first of all, do you remember the first time you ever saw this, or no?
No, I don't remember.
You don't remember? But you've seen it quite a bit.
Yes.
I was 5 years old, 1975. I saw this film in the theater only because I threw tantrum after tantrum, having seen the TV spots on TV back in the day. My parents finally caved in and took me to the theater to see this thing. And once in the theater, I did nothing but scream to get them to get me out of there. And of course they wouldn't. My mom said, "There's no way you're going to sit here and you're going to watch this movie. I don't care." And you know, I'm somewhat thankful because it's become one of my most beloved movies. I absolutely cherish inside and out. But also at the same time, it's always given me a deep-seated fear about swimming, especially in the ocean, when really there's no need to have that fear, other than I probably saw this movie way too young. and it's pretty traumatizing when you're only 5. And some of the scenes, you know, I was thinking, rewatching it last night. We were rewatching it last night, and you know, whether it's the dock scene or the little boy, there are certain scenes in this movie that are pretty scary, aren't there? What do you think? Some of these scenes are pretty scary? Doesn't anything scare you?
Nothing scared to me.
Nothing really scares him. I probably can.
Only but when the heck, only kind of scared of, not that much of scared and of the part when the head comes out of part of the boat.
Yeah.
Only that part. I just jump out of that.
When the head comes out, yeah, that is pretty scary.
I just jump.
You just jump.
Yeah.
It is. And you got a few favorite lines in this movie, don't you?
Yeah.
Like it's a tiger shark.
Yeah.
A what? That's a funny line. Any other lines you remember? What about this one? We're gonna
need a bigger boat.
We're gonna need a bigger boat. This may be one of those movies that if we sit here just wasted, and I wouldn't be wasting, but the next 10-15 minutes of just, you know, going over all the lines that are so memorable in this film. But you know, for me, it's just one of those things that I mean, as a family, you know, you gather in the living room as a kid, and it, you know, it's on TV, and of course, you know, even as you put on the DVD. You know, you just know inherently where the commercial breaks are. And but one thing, it's funny too, this is one of those movies that you always seem to pick up something new if you're really watching, other than just letting it pass the time away. And last night, having heard the end of the infamous Indianapolis speech, I do believe Quint refers to the day of the Indianapolis event as June 29th. If I remember that right, it is also the same day, June 29th, when the little Kinter boy is killed on the raft, is also June 29th. And so basically what happens to the captain way back in World War II and what happens to the little boy in the movie happened on the same day, June 29th. And I thought that was interesting. And so I'm sure there's tons of stuff in here. You have other favorite scenes though, don't you? What's like the scene towards the end of the movie?
My favorite scene towards the end of the movie is when the 3 main characters are singing, and then when they start singing quicker, the shark hits the boat, and then after a couple times the shark hits the boat, they hear it.
And then things get kind of crazy, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
And then we quickly move towards the end of the film, which the biggest thing that happens in the movie is what? What's the last thing in the movie?
Basically at the end of the movie, Brody throws was it an air tank?
Yeah.
An air tank into the shark's mouth, and then basically probably at the end of the movie, Brody when the shark's up close, he has this thing and it has a sharp end. He's hitting the top of the shark, and then the shark goes back over into the water and then comes back, and then Brody shoots the tank in its mouth, and then it explodes like the front half of the shark.
Spoiler alert, right? It's a pretty good movie though, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Do you think it's one of your more favorite movies to watch?
No.
Maybe not your favorite, but one of?
Yeah,
One of your favorites. And summertime is coming. We're really approaching the end of April, and with it, of course, probably multiple viewings of not only this franchise but other shark films and that are there. And again, I just wanted to spend a few minutes and just talk about a movie that has impacted our family, and it's one of my cherished films. I absolutely love this film. So many scenes in this film. Just they never get old with me. I can throw this movie on any time. If it happens to be on TV, of course, AMC loves running this movie all the stinking time. And if it's on TV, what does Daddy usually do? Put it on, right?
Yeah.
And we usually watch it, right?
Yeah. You would do that.
Yeah. And I love this movie. I absolutely love the movie. I love the characters. I love the story. I love the editing, just how, you don't show hardly any of the shark, and it's what makes the shark scary, not really seeing the shark. And maybe, I don't know, if I had a favorite scene out of its entire movie, it might be the dock scene. The two guys who think they're bold enough to try to catch this thing by using a holiday roast. And I love it in the end when the guy's like, "Can we go home now?" And that is a great scene. And for somebody as young as Spielberg was to make such a movie like this, I think I am very thankful though that no one has ever remade this movie. And I'm not sure what I would think if somebody actually did remake it, unless it was Spielberg himself. What do you think if they remade this? Would you be excited if they remade Jaws?
Maybe.
Maybe? Really kind of depends?
Yeah. It would depend on how it would be and how it would look.
How it would look. So, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and leave it there. And again, this is week 294, and we are 1 week away from theme week. And this is VH182 apostrophe. Of course, Rob from Georgia. And BodyBags. And summer's almost here, guys. Summer's almost here. And with it, we always leave. What do I say? What do I always say at the end?
Go Bills.